Say the pledge. Say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bill, are you on the phone?
Yep, just got on.
Okay. All right. We'll consider for approval minutes and agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes and the agenda.
I'll second it.
All right. We've got a motion from Smith and a second from Jensvold to approve the minutes and agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies. Julie, what do you have for us?
Good morning, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
I don't really have anything different from last week except my waiting list is dwindling down. So we have been allotted, each week we get, for the next week, a call from the state of our 200 doses, and we still have to meet the 80%, so we don't take the full 200 doses, we take the 100 doses because I know I can still meet the 80%.
Okay.
So the demand is not as high anymore.
Do the data numbers accurately reflect how many people in the county have gotten it?
I have looked at that, and that's one of our questions that we have with the state every week, because a lot of the counties don't feel that it is because people go elsewhere to get it. So me looking at it, I'm confused, and I guess I'm not the only county that's confused. So
Yeah. So it's hard to tell how many have gotten it.
yeah, it's hard to tell because I feel with the declining of people either not wanting it or have already received it, because when we have called our people on our list, they've already received it elsewhere. To me, I don't feel that it has reflected that, but we're still being held to the 80%. So I'm just confused.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I had people sending me screenshots of their phones with the news releases that was 21 counties declined the vaccine the shipment, and were asking me about that as well.
Yep. And it's you're either going to be on the list to not make 80%, or you're going to be on the list to decline. And I didn't decline the whole 200 doses. I just declined half, because we still share with Miller's and the clinic.
But their needs have dropped too, right?
Exactly. Their lists have dropped. In fact, we've kind of been sharing our list back and forth, and have gotten most of our people. So we're hoping that they drop the 80% soon, and because that, I mean, you're in the media you're in a lose-lose situation right now. And that, that 100 doses will help someone else in a different county, because then they reallocate it to somewhere else.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And I believe on one of our meetings last week, is it Jefferson County? They said they would take all the doses they could get because they're struggling trying to get vaccines, having vaccines. I can't remember what county it was. Maybe it was Johnson. It was one of the J ones. I just don't remember.
All right. Anything else?
Not that I can think of. We have unlocked our door here at the office just for more convenience for people to walk in, because we do a lot of, we have been doing smaller clinics throughout the week for booths and stuff like that, 10 people here. 20 people to get the shots in the arms. So that is done, but they still have to call for appointments if they want to come in for immunizations and besides the COVID vaccine and radon kits. They still do call and schedule to come in.
So Julie, is Rembrandt done and
Yep.
Winnebago
We-
and 3M?
Yeah, well, we don't, Winnebago and 3M are in Hancock
Oh,
County.
that's right.
Well, what about Winnebago and Lake Mills?
That's done. Rembrandt is done. We just finished our boost with Larson. Yep. We did the college the other day before they, 3 weeks ago. We did the college there, here.
And we
We've
can't-
hit all the other little small businesses around.
And we still can't do under 18.
No, it's 18 and older, we have Moderna.
All right.
And they still have a hold on the Johnson & Johnson, and I have 10 doses left of those.
All right. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, I don't see anything else we need for COVID unless somebody else has something.
We do have our boost clinic tomorrow at the Civic Odds from our clinic that we did back in March for 100.
Okay. And
We have that tomorrow.
They're all pre-scheduled.
Those are all pre-scheduled, yep, by appointments only, yep.
Okay. Otherwise, if somebody wants a vaccine, they just call the office.
Yep, call the office and we'll get them on our list because I have to have 10 so I can puncture that vial. And now they've moved up, I will say they did move up the allotment for that. It's 12 hours now instead of 6 hours. So that helps a little bit better. So,
All right.
alrighty,
Okay. Thank you.
you bet. Have a good day.
You too. Number 3, Don Reefer, B&W Spraying to discuss with possible action brush and weed control on the drainage ditches for 2021.
You have your copies here. We got a copy for all the supervisors, and I already given one to Chris, and I've got one for the
Thank you.
auditor's office. Get that
All right.
I guess I already explained a little bit to Susan, you know, what we do and how we do it, basically. And one thing I have done over the past several years, I know I discussed this with the board probably a couple years ago, is when we first came in and set this program up, we inspected all the ditches in the county, and we kind of rated them as far as what needed to be done right away, you know, what was going to benefit the most right away, and then the ones that could maybe go another year, another 2 years. Well, what that did is it had us spread out all over the county. In fact, we were actually doing laterals of certain districts and then going and doing, you know, we're just all over the county. And what I've done the last few years is haven't really sectioned off the county geographically, you know, a third here, a third here, a third here. But what I have done is when we do a main, we are doing all the laterals on that part of the main at that same time. And that kind of, you know, it's more efficient for me, for one, when I'm looking at the ditches, and especially for my guys when they're out there. They don't have to come up to a lateral, and if we're not doing that lateral, they got to turn around or drive up their lateral, and you know, it was kind of a waste of time. But that's the way we set it up to start with. And now I've got that. I think this year was the last year I've had to make any adjustments on the map. You know, there were a couple ditches that I dropped off from the last time we did this area because, see, with you look at DD3. We've got that district because it's such a big district split in half. We do from Highway 9 south and 1 year, and then like next year we're going to be doing Highway 9 north. And the last time through, we did some of the laterals on the north end, and I did look at some of those, and they can go another year. So we'll just roll that in, and there again, that's just in the interest of efficiency.
And these numbers are all just estimates.
There are estimates. I'm going to kind of go through the last 3 years that we've been through. The last time we were in that portion of the county, the quote was $76,000. The actual amount was $30,284.75. The next year, the quote was 43,250. The actual was 24,615.31. And then last year, the quote was quite a bit higher, but there was a lot of, not so much, a lot more miles, but a lot more separate districts and laterals that we had to quote. So the quote last year was 80,500, and the actual was 31,863. And this year, the quote is 49,500. And as I've said there, this is at the total maximum, because when I look at ditches, and I said, it's unfortunately, you weren't able to ride with me just to get an idea of what we do out there. I just go from bridge to bridge and look up and down the ditches. When my guys go out there, they drive the whole ditch. So I have to make sure I have enough approved ahead of time in case they run into something I don't see. But the thing is, with Winnebago County, we've been doing it enough years that I'm confident that there's no surprises out there. But I still, if I say, like, for instance, I've actually on DD number 3, I dropped $2,000 off from the last time we did it. I don't want to say it's going to cost $5,500 and have it come in for my expenses be $6,500. So I always try to leave some leeway there.
That's a lot of leeway.
We're honest with you at the end, but I guess basically what the part of this quote that actually is probably the most important is the rate sheet, because that's what we do. The guys keep track, and you get copies. I send copies to Chris of the actual daily spray records that we have, and that'll have on there where they worked, the chemical they used, and the time they were out there. Plus, we do weather conditions every 2 hours, and that's on the spray records. Another thing we do on the spray records is at the bottom we've got little checkoffs there for major washouts. We got washouts or beaver dams. If the guys run across any of that, we check it, and then put the section where the beaver dam is or the bad washout. And then I always try to highlight that when I catch it on the map. That way Chris can catch it too when I get the stuff sent in. I try to make a notation on the invoice as well. So
So the landowners don't really have to worry about what the estimate is, it's more what they get billed.
Yeah.
Which is the lower number.
yeah, see, that's one,
Right.
the reason, like I said, another reason that's so much higher is because everyone is an individual project. I mean, you're doing the main, you get off on a lateral, you've got to keep separate paperwork for that. What this does for you too, to have this quote is, if you've got somebody that's wondering what's the cost going to be on DD3 lat 1, you can say, well, it's going to be $2,500 or less. And typically we're, at least a third, if not half of what the quote is. Sometimes it gets close, but that's,
So we just annexed another, is that 43 a ditch then?
Yeah, we're gonna be discussing that next week as a separate issue, so.
All right.
okay.
But when we add something like that, one of the benefits for the people that we're doing it privately now, it's on the maintenance schedule for spraying.
Do private ditches, do they seem to keep
There was
up?
one we did,
Trustee,
there's
Yeah,
one trustee
trustee.
ditch that we have done work for off and on over the years, but they never got onto a real
Scheduling.
schedule. It's out northwest of town here. I can't remember the guy's name that was on that. He was an older gentleman, so I don't even know if he's still out there.
Graber,
How's that?
was it Robert Graber?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
That's DD 25.
25, yeah. And we haven't done anything for them for,
Probably on it now.
The areas.
and we haven't done anything for, they've got some areas out there that they need to cut trees out because they were never on a real maintenance program. What we did when we went in, we went in and did the miles that were sprayable and tried to keep those clean for them. But now I haven't heard from them for a while, and I guess I haven't contacted
So
them.
Chris updates you on any new annexed.
I would
I
hope so.
haven't, because we've only done that like
I was-
twice
I was
since
gonna
I've
say,
been here,
it's-
so
It's not a very common.
No.
Okay.
What I do, though, and Chris can attest to that, is I sent her a copy of the map
Mhm.
before I looked at the ditches. And if you have something that's scheduled for a major clean out, then I don't wanna waste my time looking at it and come in here and you're gonna say, well, you don't do that one because it's scheduled for a clean out. So I
Right.
coordinate with her ahead of time
So
to
then when
make
he
sure.
gets to DD 5, I would say, hey, we've also got this new lateral that's a ditch.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yep.
And we have, gone beyond this, we may forego one of these and do one that really needs it, that's not on the
Yeah,
list. It's just time and material.
And typically, everything's shaped up now to where it's just a maintenance. The only thing is, we got some that, like the 2 ditches I took off for this year, 2 or 3 ditches on the laterals up on the north end of 3. They're gonna go an extra year, so you might see a little bit more brush generated in that. So. Then you got, Bill Tweeden, is it? He's not a trustee, but he acts like one, because if he starts seeing trees out there, he's got my phone number.
Oh.
He calls me directly. I say, oh yeah, it's on the schedule for next year or whatever, because he's real conscientious about the brush in his ditch. But that's one that got skipped the first few times because that ditch actually, the lateral that he's on actually goes out into Worth County, then swings back into Winnebago County. And we were only doing the south end of it where it was in Winnebago County. Didn't realize it went up and came back around until we caught it.
What do you do when it goes into Cassuth or
Well, what we do is we bill it,
Schedule.
just,
yeah, because like 3-11.
Yeah, he bills me and then I send Cassuth County their portion.
okay.
And that's the way it works. What I've tried to do is we do most of the drainage in north central Iowa. And what I try to do is and I got maps on most of the counties where I'll have on there which counties control. And that way I don't, because if I build, the way I used to do it is I build what was in your county for your portion. And then that's more paperwork for the drainage office because they've got to go back and forth twice instead of just once.
Any more questions for Bill? Or me, Don? Bill, do you have any questions? Let me see if he's still on.
He's probably muted.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm
Okay.
on loading the sprayer, so I'm on mute.
All right.
So how do you do this then? This is a yearly thing that you approve?
Yeah.
You approve that? Okay.
Yeah, another thing that, I know, Norris, I hadn't done this the last year when I was in here, I probably forgot about it, but with our insurance company, if you approve this, if you could sign off, accepted on it, and the date, what that does with my insurance company is anybody I have a signed contract with is automatically additionally insured on my insurance company, or my insurance, rather than
So
just being
Our approved stamp is, okay.
that way this quote converts to a contract, and then,
I think we've done that every year on it.
well, I just started doing that a couple, 2-3 years ago, and I noticed that last year I didn't have you sign off on it, but I need to be conscientious of that myself and make sure and remind.
I don't know how to do it.
No, you just spin the dials.
Oh, you gotta turn it though. I got it.
Well, I have no problem with this, so I'll make a motion to approve the, see it now. Approve the, proposal for the spraying of the drainage ditches for 2021.
I'll second that.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Smith to approve the, contract to do the spraying on the drainage ditches. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Check this first.
So you've already been spraying for,
Yeah, we started 2 weeks ago. Well, the first week, the wind.
oh yeah, wasn't it?
First
crazy?
week, we didn't
So
get much
there's-
done, yeah.
You want to stamp 2 of these? Just give him one.
Yeah, I can just do
You want
that.
one
I don't
stamped?
need one stamped.
Oh,
Well,
you don't need one
Well,
stamped?
I
if the
don't.
county would keep a copy, then I would like to.
Yeah, you can have the stamped copy.
Okay, all right. And that's really all I have. What I will do is, as always, what I do is I call the office and then I assume Chris sends an email out to y'all to let you know when the guys are out there working. And then I always call the sheriff as well, because we do have to be out on but even though there's easement, we still have to be on private property to get through and do the work. That way, if anybody has any questions, and rather than talk to my guys, they call the sheriff knows we're out there.
One of our challenges is gone now.
Yeah, and I do have that on the schedule. We did go in last summer and treat that. I looked at it, and what I'm gonna do, where it's on that end of the ditch that we're working on again, I'm gonna have them go ahead and run it again and just double check it. But it looked good when I looked at it. I mean, so,
Do you have a card, or can I have?
yeah, I was
your
gonna
number before
leave
you
a card for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, do we need more than one? I think everybody else has all my
I've
contact
got it.
information.
Everybody else knows you, I'm just,
Yeah,
I'm the
I've got
new
it.
girl. Thank you.
All right, and thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Don. I guess,
Could we go to drainage since I'm here?
yeah, that's what I was wondering. if we
Is
just-
that okay?
If you decide to retire, I hope you have the courtesy to call me.
Yeah, I will. See you later.
We're gonna jump to number 7, auditor's office. We'll discuss drainage matters.
I sent out letters regarding DD 43, DD 5 lot 43, and a couple of the landowners are not happy with it. I'm trying to figure out if we had done things correctly or not. I did talk to Rick yesterday, and I feel like we should have had a hearing beforehand. Rick was under the impression that we didn't need to, but I think we should have. So I think we still did it okay.
Is that something we should ask?
I'm gonna email him today. We still did it correctly in that a landowner in that watershed wanted it, for good reasons. But the 3 landowners that are in contention are gonna call next week. Rick will be available, he'll be calling in just to answer any questions on his end, but just to let you know, in case you get calls this week.
Already have.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have some backing from IDDA on it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right. Oh, by the way, I did see, on Saturday, I don't know if you ever watch Ag PhD, they had a thing on drainage, first 5 minutes, and it explained about what we've been theorizing, that when you drain it properly, it creates a sponge that's empty and absorbs more of the moisture when it needs to, and keeps it more moderate. Very, very good.
so maybe
Segment.
the DD11 main tile will be more of a sponge instead of
Yeah.
just letting all the water go.
Right.
That's it. Yep.
It seems to be doing fairly well now, but
Good.
I can see there's areas they're gonna have to tile themselves to outlet into it.
Yeah, and I did talk to Rick again yesterday too about the Army Corps, and Derek has found another number, a phone number, so they're gonna try that and see if they can get some approval. It's been tough. So.
That just seems impossible, doesn't it?
Well, and I feel like if you have an office phone and everybody's working from home, that office phone, either somebody should man it, or it should say, call this number. I feel like that's just
I
horrible
don't
to
wanna-
just let people wonder where to
Really,
call.
really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah,
You know, we can go to our Congress people and go through the back door and put pressure on them, but then that sometimes doesn't set well, so I'd rather go through the process first.
oh, sure, and I'm
But if
sure
the
they're not
process
trying to
isn't
avoid
working-
anyone, it's just you can't find anyone. So, I don't know what to do, but they're trying.
All right,
Other than that, I don't have anything this week.
you have anything for drainage?
Nope, just that I've been fielding calls about it, lots of concern.
So, if you have any questions, you can come see me after. We can-
Yeah, well, I think, I don't think anything I find out between now and next, I think Rick will fill us in, won't he? I mean,
Bill, did you have anything for drainage?
No,
All right,
All right, thank you.
thanks, Chris.
Let's do number 5, discussion with possible action regarding waiver of consultation of annexation and zoning designation of real estate to the town of Scarville, Iowa. So this is what, about 55.8 acres or something on the west side of town that they're gonna annex. The elevator wants to expand.
Oh, that piece of ground they just bought?
Yeah.
Mm,
They actually want to possibly do rail load out at some point.
Yeah.
So,
So will the city have to do septic and sewer?
not for the railroad out. They've already got
It's
septic.
just for rail?
They've already got
then?
septic. They just
Oh,
got
yeah,
done with
yeah.
that project, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did you get a chance to look through it? I personally don't see any problem with this. I'd support them for any expansion.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this is one, the elevator projects have been a godsend for them to be able to tip against and pay for their sewer. And maybe at some point they'll end up doing water too.
I guess maybe that's what I was meaning. I mean, that there would have to be. What is the city? Have you talked to Doug and?
We had our Winnebago advisory meeting, and
Mhm.
Doug was on and
Oh,
explained it all, so he was, yeah, they're
for it,
pushing
of
for it.
course, yeah.
So I guess, what do you think about it then?
I think it's great.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Bill, do you have any problem with the annexation and waiving our consultation?
Nope,
All right,
sounds like, a good thing for the city of Scarville.
I'll make a motion then.
I'd like to make the motion, to approve the waiver of consultation and annexation zoning designation of real estate to the town of Scarville, Iowa.
I'll second it.
All right, we got a motion from Smith and a second from Jensvold to approve the waiver of consultation of annexation and zoning for the city of Scarville. All those in favor say aye.
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 Alright,
All those opposed, motion carries. Signature.
Thank you.
Well, looks like we're running up on 9:30. Was Brittany gonna be on?
Yes.
Yep, and I'm on.
All right. Nice to have you, Brittany.
How are you guys?
Good,
Yeah, how are you guys this morning?
not too bad.
You
Now, did we get our question answered from last week?
regarding the increase for
Brittany, I think you're gonna have to get closer to the phone.
oh yeah, no problem, I can do that. Is that Perry?
That's better.
Okay, sounds good. So Health Partners confirmed, so I looked through that spreadsheet that Carla had sent over, and if you guys can towards the health savings account for an employee only, on that option 2, that's a premium. Basically what Health Partners wants to make sure that groups aren't doing is funding, the entire HSA account, and then employees, are using that healthcare maybe more quickly because they don't have any personal liability for claims. If they're receiving $3,000 from their employer, they're not going to be as conscious about what those healthcare expenses might be. And so the contribution that you have on that spreadsheet for option 2 would not change the premiums from what we had originally received from Health Partners.
All right.
So, but I'm glad that we had checked on that to confirm, because they like to throw that disclaimer in there, and so it's good to double check.
So I had a question with my wife being up in Minnesota and on a flex plan, and I'm on a flex plan now, and if I went to an HSA, can I be on an HSA starting the first of the year and her still be on her flex plan?
So if she, Brian.
No, go for it, Brittany.
Okay. So Terry, is your wife on the county health insurance, or
No.
she's employee only through her employer, correct?
Right.
Okay. So then you should be fine as long as those flex dollars aren't used for your expenses. Would you then?
I missed the end of it there.
Oh, no problem, Terry. So I believe that you would be fine as long as you don't use those flex dollars, because you're now disqualified due to the fact that you're on a health savings account plan. And it looks like let me check on that though, Terry.
Yeah, there's some
Just to make sure.
sticky. So you're double covered under her plan, Terry?
No, just
Oh.
the flex. The flex goes back and forth.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry.
We each have our own flex right now.
Yeah. So you'd be fine. There's some sticky issues if you're covered under a traditional plan as secondary coverage, but if you're on your own, there is no issues.
Okay.
Okay.
And it may be we just stick everything into the health savings plan, but we'll see.
Yeah, you get a lot more flexibility with that health savings account dollars as well too. There's not limitations for how much you can contribute. It rolls over more than a flex does each year too. So.
Yeah. Okay. That was the only question I had.
I didn't have any additional ones.
Okay. Bill, did you have any more questions on the health savings plan?
Nope.
Okay. Well, hearing the information we have, I would motion to approve the traditional insurance renewal and an HSA plan that would be option 2, like we discussed last week.
I would second that.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Smith to approve the traditional insurance renewal and HSA plan. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you guys for answering our questions.
Yeah, you bet. So we'll work with Carla to set those open enrollment meeting dates and get some, I think just additional times where we're up there to answer questions about HSAs too. So we'll get started on that process and go from there.
Okay, thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
Yep.
Brian.
Thanks,
You
everybody.
bet. Have a good day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Call Scott. Scott, we're ready for you.
didn't have a lot of calls, Carla, about that? People talking about the HSA and
Not a one.
that one?
I take that back. Eric Heithecker's been in my office like every day, but other than him. I've actually nicknamed him Doug number 2 during this
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a great opportunity for some people.
Yes, I agree.
we got anything for open forum?
Morning.
Good question.
Morning, Scott. By the way, we passed the HSA number 2.
You passed it. What did we learn about that?
It's okay to do.
What's that?
We're okay to do it. No effect on the premium.
All right. Did that have so the numbers that she had last week were
Okay.
good?
An option 2.
Cool. I don't have much this week. We got stockpiling completed, so that's good for this time of year. We'll be just kind of switching gears to do some spot loads here shortly. Try and touch up some of the worst spots before we start on the end-to-end resurfacing on the gravel roads. We're going to try a little bit of crushed concrete, I think, and see how that works. There's been concerns in the past about metal in the crushed concrete, but we've been assured that there wouldn't be a problem. The magnets are better. I've looked at the pile. I think it looks clean, so I don't think that will be a concern.
Where are you gonna try it out at? Scott?
Well, it'll be spots, so it'll
Oh,
be
just-
all over the place, we thought.
That's, would that be down to 3/4 then?
It's actually 1.25 inches minus, so it's, I'd say, coarser than most what we use. We're gonna try it in, mud holes basically, soft spots, so hopefully a combination of mushy stuff that we're filling in and the coarse material kind of mixes together for the right solution.
So is
What's the
there a,
price difference?
yeah,
We were given a price this morning, $6.25 for the crushed concrete, and that's in Forest City here. And in Fertile, we're paying over $8 now for limestones. Cut the haul off and cut a couple bucks off.
Good.
Sounds pretty good.
That
So
new circle drive that I built over there is all that, so I'll be anxious to see how that goes too.
yeah, my only real concern is that it breaks down faster than other types of rock, and we won't really be able to monitor that very well. Just to be kind of
well, it kind of
anecdotal.
solves the problem for now in a bigger form, in 1.25 inches, and then it will break down quicker to more passable.
Maybe, yeah,
Because
maybe.
people complain about when you put the bigger stuff on and you have to drive on it for that long.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll kind of bury it in soft spots and it won't be too noticeable and roll around or be extra sharp or anything.
Did they have much volume to offer then?
We're gonna, we made a deal on 2,500 ton. So that's a good quantity, I guess. And our stockpiles, we have 5,000, 7,500 in here and there. So, 2,500 is a good quantity to try it out. I'm sure some of our guys are a little bit, nervous about using something different. So we'll just,
So do you have to stockpile that too, or can you just go?
we're just gotta go show up with the truck and they'll load us. So that's a
That's a plus too. I
pretty
mean,
good deal, yeah. So we're just gonna try some new things,
give
I
it a
guess,
try.
and see how it works. So
Good.
anyway, that's kind of what we talked about just as of today. So that's kind of new news. So we'll see if the plans might change. But anyway, we'll do that for a week or two, spot loading, trying to get the worst spots, and then we'll most likely switch to resurfacing and get the stockpiles hauled out.
All your stockpiles are 3/4, aren't they? Or do you have some?
Stockpiles are 1 inch. We've used 3/4 on like areas that get dust control or edge rut, but for the most part, we've used 1 inch roadstone for, I want to say, 10, 15 years. that's really the main update I have. Well, I guess they're working on auction stuff too, kind of going through all the sheds and pulling everything out, seeing what we got, putting it all back if we're keeping it, and setting it all on pallets for the auction and stuff like that. So we got our list pretty well finalized. I should hopefully have a final draft of that. I'm sure it's in final form, I just don't have it, but have you guys kind of approve that so it's in the minutes and be official that way.
And that was the 13th again, right?
13th, yep. I think that's all I got today.
There's no rain dates or anything like that kind of thing, we just have it, right?
We haven't talked about that. So I don't think so.
He's inside when he's auctioneering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of it, I don't know,
Bring your
most of
reindeer
it.
and-
Some,
Mhm.
I think we would most likely get all of it outside, do all the auctioneering outside. I would think unless it was a complete downpour, there'd be people there bidding, and they'll have the online portal too, so.
Do you have any goal at all for that stuff? I mean, have you just
What kind of value we can get?
rounded out anything in your?
I'm hoping we can get 80 to 100,000 out of the auction.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on what the big items go for more so, what we get out of the trucks, pickups. Kind of thing.
Anything else?
Well, they came back and kind of fixed some of those concerns on a road close to my home place. It's better and improved. And I think the Rice Lake, is kind of put back together
Okay,
now.
I heard they hit a couple of lines with the boring, so that was too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Water lines?
Hit the existing water lines with the new ones.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh.
trying to bore them in across the road.
Yeah,
Too bad.
It's a bad thing
you know,
about not having
just
the exact locations.
you know, think of how that was out there in the 1940s or whatever, you know, and water lines were all.
And I suppose we don't have the talented people with the welding rods
There's
anymore.
that. I told Ethan we need to get a map of that when it's done, at least a hand drawn something.
Something.
There's a lot of stuff out there we don't really have records on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not ours,
Yeah,
but still be good to know.
would be nice to know, wouldn't it? Or have some type of a.
Somebody's gotta keep the records.
Yeah,
So that looks, it's kind of pulled back together.
good.
It's good. I know Ethan had to put up with a little bit out there, so,
He said he spent a little late night out there trying to figure stuff out with them.
yeah. But they appreciate it, so.
Good.
Bill, did you have anything for roads?
No, nothing that I haven't communicated to him already.
All right.
Never a dull moment with Bill.
All right, well, if there's nothing else for roads, we'll move on. Discussion with possible action, purchasing picture from Winnebago County Historical Society. Oh, that one.
Riley Lewis brought it in, wanted to know if we wanted to buy it. He wanted us to pay $75 for it. I told him it was above my pay grade, and y'all can decide what you want to do.
Why is he trying to sell it?
I guess they made some for Hy-Vee, and Hy-Vee didn't want this one or something. I don't know.
Is the picture, is the actual photo public
Yes.
anyway? I mean, so you could just, if you wanted one, you could print one?
So
Yes.
if I want one, I can get one.
Yes.
Now,
You can have this one if you personally want it
$75.
for $75 to the Historic Society. Because I don't know where,
I don't know where you put it.
I don't know where we're gonna put
You
it.
don't usually have Kansas remakes in the courthouse either.
I would like to have it. I just found one online like that in a book.
And you can, if it's not, you can just have it printed if you want it.
Right. But does the county want one? And where would we put it?
We like to
I don't
frame,
think we
like
have
to
a-
frame original things we find.
got that.
I don't think we have a good home for it here personally, but that's,
Well, tell Riley I'd buy it.
Okay. Well, then just write a check for $75 to the Winnebago County Historical Society.
I don't
And
have
you
it with
can-
me, I'll have to go get it.
Take it home today or next week or
Leave it
whatever.
in your office and I'll,
Okay,
is Riley fine with that? I mean, if he offered it to the county, it could be to anyone, right? It's just an extra one.
it's just an extra one.
Yeah. So that'd be good. There you
oh,
go,
I'd
Terry.
love to have it. So I'm guessing the small building is the old courthouse, right?
Yes, yep.
Remember, it was a two-story courthouse that they built in 1860 something or whatever.
Mhm.
What impresses me is how massive it makes this look with,
Yeah, that
That
two
little.
stories there are the same height as the first story there.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that was, I was thinking it was farther north on that other picture, but I guess it's kind of right out front, isn't it?
What, the courthouse?
The old
The
one,
other old courthouse?
like north of the sidewalk kind of,
Oh. Mhm.
way it looks. It's fascinating.
It's cool. I thought it was on fire.
That's the coal from the,
Mm-hmm.
From the burner.
yeah,
So when I was looking for pictures, I also found one of the Thompson School,
Oh.
and the book is from 1917. I think it was something about the hidden history of Winnebago and Hancock counties, 400 and some pages. But, and it shows all the windows there like their original. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty detailed that you can even see that, like the drainage down spouts and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of interesting because that's what we'll be working on soon, the roof and the,
I wish they wouldn't have put those
Yep.
colored glass in there.
Oh, yeah, same at the school. They took all the big windows out.
that's what we were saying when we were walking around it that day with the contractors too. It's just like, we thought that was a good
Julie
idea.
forgot.
But didn't you say that was in the 70s? Somebody said that.
I think so, yeah.
People did dumb things in the 70s. Has
I
to
bet
be.
it's even the same block at the school.
I bet it is too.
Really good.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll respectfully turn it down, but I do have an interest in it, so.
Okay, I will let Riley
I'll write
know.
a check. Open forum, anything?
This is the open forum stuff. I guess you don't need that. Oops. And then this is the claim stuff.
We got a new, Julie had a
Otherwise, received, did you get this one, Jane?
We did, I think, but test it if you would, please. And where you, these all just get stamped on the front
Yes.
mostly? Oops, sorry.
Wherever there's a spot.
Okay.
So Chad's name changed, huh? Bush Dog Farm LLC, huh? Used to be Mount Valley something.
Oh,
Anytime I see that Bob Barker, I chuckle. Do you know any more about, I did get an email from Robert Schwartz about the delays or the excess costs and stuff like that. Does anybody know any more about the environmental?
He's looking into what he can, but I'm sure it takes time.
Yeah. Really threw a wrench into stuff, didn't it? Does this just get stamped on the front somewhere?
on the back,
On the back?
no,
Back page.
back page.
Oh, yeah.
You have to sign underneath it. You wanna make the motion then? Consider for approval, semi-monthly county claims?
I will make the motion to approve the semi-monthly county claims.
I'll second it.
Oh,
Go ahead, Bill.
that's all right, you got it covered.
All right. And a motion from Smith and a second from Derby to approve the semi-monthly county claims. All those in favor say aye.
All right,
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We stand adjourned. Thanks, Bill.
all right, thanks for putting up with all my noise.
Didn't hear much today.
That's pretty good.
Well, this time I've got a headset again now. I kept hoping that the one I lost would show up, but, well, and then I figured out how to mute and unmute my phone better, so.
Good.
All right, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Did you say we're adjourned?
Yes.
Okay.